Yeah, that's what I was staring at for about 2 hours. So after fitting the MOSFET regulator, which works fine by the way, it's a very worthy investment. Um, Went to take the bike out and realised that the neutral light was flickering, um, like a really fast flicker on the dash. So found out what bulb it was. It was a 501 little blade bulb, if you're wondering. Got one of them. Had to take the screen off the front fairing, disconnect the instrument cluster, put a new bulb in, put it all back together. It seemed to be a lot brighter, a lot steadier. Started the bike up, pulled it off the centre stand, cut out. Thought that was a bit weird. Turned the key off, turned it back on. Neutral light wasn't coming on. So checking the clutch switches, the two little female spade connectors, checked the continuity in the switch, pulled all the front off again because every time there was like a wire by the left hand as you're sitting on the bike, the left hand headlight. Every time I jiggled a wire, that was it kind of did something to make the light come back on. So took everything back apart again, making sure there wasn't a trapped wire anywhere. Put everything back together. Gave up, went to bed, sat and looked at all these wiring diagrams. Went out to the bike this morning when it was still dark at about 7 a.m. And then I intended to look at the clutch switch again, check for continuity, look at the neutral switch down by the sprocket cover, um, look at where it was wired into the diode, all that kind of stuff. I leant on the tank and the light flicked on. Leant off the tank, light flicked off. So there's me trying to chase a wiring fault. Went straight under the tank. You've got them little group of block connectors. Give that a jiggle. Of course, straight away, it's pretty much triggering the light. So when I've put the MOSFET regulator on, what must have happened is I've knocked the little blue connector. And you'll see for the neutral switch on the varadero, there's a little blue block connector. Looked at that and the peg wasn't engaged properly. There's a tiny little plastic peg that keeps the block connector together. Basically that wasn't plugged in properly. So again, I've done one on the fan maybe 2 years ago when I thought there was a big problem with the fan system. It turned out to just be a 10 amp fuse. So check all your connectors first. Make sure you know where the connectors are. And yeah, before you start delving into look for broken wires and bad earths and bad switches and bad sensors. About 2.5 to 3 hours of fiddling and faffing around could have been eliminated just by checking a connector under the tank. But because I was jiggling a wire at the headlight end, that seemed to be doing something. But really it was just causing a vibration through the wiring looms to just jiggle that connector around. But yeah, that was my morning. Nice easy fix. Didn't have to get a new clutch switch, neutral switch. Didn't have to chase a bit of stripped wire that was earthing. So that was a plus. So yeah, check the switches, check the connectors. Right, safe.